Okay, this is a game we absolutely have to have. Honestly, we've seen the tweets today. Everybody knows what's going on. We go 2-5. What are the odds of the playoffs? Honestly, what are the odds of the playoffs after being 2-5? So this is the game we need. D-Hop is back, and he's supposed to fix all of our problems, right? Well, a lot of people aren't so sure, and I'm not so sure. We only got a half hour, so let's get into it right away. We've got the one, the only, Joe from the Cardinal Rule. Welcome, my friend. How we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm nervous but excited, so I appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you.
Cautiously optimistic, maybe?
Yeah, that's about it.
And making her rookie debut on He's on Fire podcast, I'd like to welcome Jackie. How are we doing tonight? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling actually really good. A little nervous, but this is the first time this season I'm getting to watch a game at home from start to finish. I don't have to work and try to pay attention. So yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm also very, very optimistic. I feel like this is a must win, and I think we got this.
Everyone's kind of feeling it's a must win. Before we break it down, Joe, are you in the must win category right now?
Yeah, they've got to win. I mean, at this point, things are just so dire. You know, they've got to win, and we've got to see something turn around in terms of that offense. They've got to flip that switch, and they have to win until they flip that switch.
You're damn right. JV, welcome back. It's nice to see you back in the chat again. And the trolley bully. I don't know how I said that correctly or wrong, but no, welcome everybody. Everybody hit the like, subscribe button, all that fun stuff. You guys already know what's going on. We need to get into what we're about to see and witness and experience, right? First comes first. Joe, why don't you start us off with some inactives that we got?
Yeah, so the inactives for the Cardinals this game are kicker Matt Prater. We all kind of figured that was coming. Running backs James Conner and Darrell Williams, cornerback Trayvon Mullen, center Rodney Hudson, linebacker Dennis Gardeck, and offensive lineman Lecitus Smith.
Jackie, when you see that happening with Rodney Hudson going down and James Conner not playing, now we learned like 2 hours ago Matt Prater, which by the way, Rodrigo Blankenship, he did hit from 40, 45, and 50 yards, reported by Bo Brock from PHNX Sports. But when you see that list, what are the things that are glaring out to you right now, Jackie?
Just Rodney Hudson. I mean, we've got Rodrigo Blankenship. I think he can not lose us the game at this point. Definitely an upgrade over Matt Amendola. Darrell Williams, James Conner. It does seem kind of bad that they're not playing, but I have a lot of faith in Eno. We'll probably see some runs by K1, that happened early on last game, but didn't sustain that. Trayvon Mullen, we haven't seen play very much. And Dennis Gardeck, I love Dennis Gardeck, but I am excited to see the rookies eat tonight.
Ooh, the rookies eat. One thing you did say in there, though, because, we're a He's on Fire Arizona Sports podcast. He said, Eno Benjamin. I messaged you guys, I think last Saturday night or last Sunday. I'm like, man, Eno's about to go off. He's going to get like 700 yards this game. And the offense fell flat on its face, and it started with the interior linemen. Joe, we got the two interior linemen guys out. We got our starting running back out. Jackie feels like the offense is going to eat when it comes to Eno. How are you feeling with that run game and everything?
Well, they're going to need to do something to get because with what's going on with shifts in terms of how defenses are playing, you have to establish the run. Things have kind of gone away from that in recent years, but with a lot more of the cover two shells, you have to establish that run to knock teams out of that. And as Jordan P noted, Billy Price is starting. And now that's the interesting one because Sean Harlow has played horribly, right? And played really PFF grades in the 20s on pass blocking.
Rodney really Hudson, that low?
Yeah. Last game it was. Yeah, it was really bad.
No good.
Exactly. And so, Rodney Hudson's out this game again. And Billy Price was former first round pick, hasn't lived up to expectations, but he has played center since college. That's what he is and has always been. And he had a better season last year with the Giants. So they picked him up recently. He's going to get the start. I don't know what we're going to get out of him. Hopefully it's better than Harlow. But the guy has the tools to be a first round pick, played center all this time. So I'm hopeful. And you have Max Garcia at left guard. He hasn't been great, but like he's not a bad depth left guard, right? His problems were more at center. He was a starter in Denver for a lot of years. He's not a top, player at the position, but he's a guy that, like, as long as you don't have him next to Sean Harlow, he can be serviceable. So if Billy Price can be that difference and at least be, decent, then I think we can be okay. But having him, Harlow and Garcia was just a really bad combination. So they're going to have to be good. We need them to be good. And I'm cautiously optimistic that I think he can have a good game.
I'm worried about one player on the Saints defense, and he always kills us. Anybody know where I'm getting at? He's from Arizona.
Yeah. Yep. I do know who you're
Who do you got?
Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan. That dude could get 3 sacks against the Cardinals in his sleep. I feel like anytime he comes home to play, it's a coming out party for him, and good for him. Like that's how it should be anytime somebody goes into their hometown, right? But if Cam Jordan comes out and dominates a average to below average offensive line right now, we could be in for a very, very long day. That's just my personal opinion. That's what I'm going to be looking out for when it comes to this game. But you know what we really need to look out for? We need to look out for DeAndre Hopkins. D-Hop is finally back. This is probably the biggest thing other than wearing the all-black jerseys. Of course, that's obviously important. But D-Hop coming back is supposed to fix everything. He's the cure-all, right? I don't know if I can see it that way, but let me put it like this to you, Jackie. We have maybe 3 or 4 elite players on this team, right? Kyler Murray, JJ Watt, you could say Budda Baker. After that, it's DeAndre Hopkins, right? We could have an argument if you want to talk about our left tackle. I'm just number 7.
DJ Humphries.
DJ Humphries, 74. Jeez, what a dummy I am for a host of an Arizona sports podcast. But we can talk about that, but legitimately, I think we only have 4 elite players on our team, and he's our second one on offense. So putting it that way, when you have an elite combo wide receiver and QB, but it is his only first game back, where are you on DeAndre Hopkins' train right now? Is he going to fix this offense? Is he going to get 160 yards and 2 touchdowns, or do you think he's going to come out flat with 33 yards and 9 targets?
In the grand scheme of things, looking at the whole season, I don't know if he's going to fix the offense, but being that this is his first game back, with especially on a suspension that he feels he shouldn't have served, apparently there's going to be more information after the season ends about that. I think he's going to play with a lot of like a chip on his shoulder. He's going to come out, he's going to eat. I think this is going to be a great comeback game for him for sure.
Joe, are you in the majority of that opinion?
Yeah, I do think so because, the Saints, Marshawn Lattimore is injured for them, their number 1 cornerback. They've got some other cornerbacks that are banged up. And the Cardinals are, they are without, their other, obviously Hollywood Brown is down. So, like, who's the other targets? Zach Ertz is a nice player, obviously, and they'll go for him. But with how things are shaped up in terms of the matchup against the Saints, who are without the number 1 cornerback, and with the Cardinals lacking, some of their best playmakers, they're going to have to lean on him. And I think yes, he's just coming back from a suspension following an injury, but he's a veteran. He's played in this league. He can play this position in his sleep. I think there's going to be a big game for him.
I really hope it's a big game for him. I mean, I have him on my fantasy football league, so I've been waiting him for 6 weeks to get there.
Yeah.
But
lucky you guys.
he is an elite player. I mean, the last route that we saw, do you guys remember the last route against the Packers? He had that route where he stopped and then went and he pushed the guy and it ended up being offensive pass interference or face mask or whatever. But like, you don't see plays like that. And he is a special player. That's the number 1 thing I'm looking for on offense. Joe, a couple of things on offense. What are you looking for with the scheme with Kyler and Cliff? Are you looking for anything different? Do you expect the same? Is Rondale Moore going to get 7 targets all behind the line of scrimmage? What are you expecting in this game?
What I'm expecting and what I'm hoping for may not be the same
No,
thing.
we got to go. We know what we hope for. We got to go with
Right.
expectations right now.
I do think they're going to target Hopkins a lot and early with the cornerback situation, with the injuries for the Saints. They know they need to get the offense going, and Hopkins is a way to do that. I think we may see some more running from Kyler like we did last week that worked out well, aside from the fumble, but he ran well. And it seems like they've committed to that. So I think we're going to see that. I do think they're going to, I think, with the pass rush, the Saints have some good pass rushers, so they might have to get some things out there quickly. So you might see some screen. You're going to see some screens. Come on, this is Cliff, right? But I think we're going to see. I think what we're going to see is a lot of Hopkins, an awful lot of Hopkins, and that's good. And then some more Hopkins.
Jackie, how many third and short 30-yard balls is Kyler Murray going to throw to Robbie Anderson tonight?
I'm going to go 4.
Oh, I was going to say, we'll put the over under at 3.5. I was going to say over.
Go 4.
Joe?
I'm going to say 2. I don't think they'll take a few shots, I think, but I don't think it's going to be quite like not in third and short that many. I think maybe 2.
Jackie, we've talked about on offense what we're expecting. You've already mentioned Eno having a good game, DeAndre Hopkins breakout. Any other things that you want to point out on the offense that you're going to be watching for on this Thursday night football matchup?
Well, it has been said that we will see Robbie Anderson for some limited snaps. So I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to gel with this offense and with K1, if he's going to bring any attitude problems, to the locker room. We'll see, man. But I'm very excited he's here. I know people were kind of like, why did we brought in the wrong Panther? But hey, I guess we always complain that Keim's not doing anything, so he does something, and it's kind of showing that he's not ready to wave the white flag yet on the season. And like I said, I think week 1 that Keim makes these big trades when people go down.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when that came through on Monday morning, I was like, oh, are we really about to have this 3-headed monster? And 5 minutes later, looks like Hollywood Brown could be missing the whole year. And then it turned out to be 6 weeks. And now we're hearing 4 weeks. So it hasn't really been confirmed, that it probably won't. He hasn't officially gone on or did he officially go on IR today? Was that official today?
Yeah.
Brown, so he's officially out for four games, right? That's the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody said anything past that. So here we are, of course, playing the injury game like we always do, but we happen to have a defense that is kicking ass and taking away the other team's number 1 wide receiver. Funny part is the other team doesn't really have a number 1 wide receiver right now, but we can talk about Chris Olave, right? Chris Olave is going to be playing. Yeah. He looks like he's been a killer, and I hate me some Ohio State Buckeye players. Let me tell you what. But defensively, that is what I'm going to be looking at. What does this pass defense do, right? And how does it kind of form are we going to do just very simple coverages against these guys and maybe stack the box a little bit more against Alvin Kamara? Are we worried about Taysom Hill? Are we going to be just sending 4 guys rushing and dropping people back? Like, what are we going to be doing on defense? Jackie, let's start with you. Defensively, what are you looking forward to and what are your expectations?
Has it been confirmed that Dalton is starting?
Yes.
Then pass rush is gonna eat for sure. He's not the most mobile guy. So. He's on the back end of his career. He's a journeyman at this point. So I think pass rush is going to bully Andy Dalton the way they bullied Andy Dalton when we played him in Dallas.
And Cincinnati a few years back, Monday Night Football, the years Cincinnati was like 13-3 are really good.
The Carson Palmer years.
Yeah, that was the game I went to. I've been to 2 in like 7 years, so I'm going to toot my horn on that one. Joe, what are you looking forward to on the defensive side? Are they going to be getting after Andy Dalton? Or are they going to fall back a little? What do you think?
I think they're going. I think with the receivers that are out, we might see a little more blitzing. But I'll tell you, the thing I'm watching, Dennis Gardeck is out for this game, right? And the Cardinals had their rookie pass rushers both get their first sacks in the NFL last year. Well, when you look at it, who's going to be starting? It's probably Marcus Golden and Victor Dimukeje, but they're going to do a heavy rotation of those rookies. And maybe one of the rookies will start, but I would guess Dimakaji. But I'm looking forward to seeing those rookies get more snaps with Gardeck missing the game and seeing what we have in them, right? Cam Thomas is the guy who can be a really good pass rusher who can also slide inside. And then my guy, my Jai, right? That's what my guy, my Jai Sanders. That dude has an incredible first step off the line. So like seeing what he can do. So I'm excited to see what we get out of those rookies and how many snaps they have and how productive they are.
Interesting comment from Jordan P right here. Andy Dalton, 7th worst QB versus the zone. So zone all day. I did not know that. That's a great stat. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And if that comes to fruition, if not, I'm calling you out, Jordan. Robert Moore, good afternoon. I subscribed. I appreciate you. Really appreciate it. And then Jordan also said Gardeck out equals Maje and Cam more snaps. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, Joe. I am looking forward to that. Maje Sanders does seem a little undersized right now, does he not? Or is he trying to hide smaller arms with the long baggy sleeves, you think?
His deal, in the draft process was he got sick and lost some weight. He was already not a huge guy. But he's played in the 240s and he during the combine was down to the 220s. He put that weight back on, but he's slight. But his build, actually, his comparable build is another guy that Cardinals fans were really hoping we would have traded for, and that's Brian Burns. I did a video when the draft occurred, kind of doing physical comps, looking at their measurables and everything. And the guy he profiled most similar to was Brian Burns. So he is a slighter guy, but he's also super quick off the line. So he's a guy you might worry might not be as stout against the run in terms of power run, but he's a smaller pass rusher. But we've seen a guy like Brian Burns with a similar build be successful.
How are y'all feeling about these black on black uniform combos and Robbie Anderson taking number 81? I honestly don't know how I feel about that, but I'm just an old guy that's get off my lawn right now.
I love it.
But Bolden left us.
You've got Frank Sanders and Bolden, right? The 81s. They haven't retired the numbers. Will they? Should they? I don't know. I mean, listen. As long as it ain't 11, I'm all right. Right? No one touches 11. Right?
Nah, it won't be. 11 and 40. Those are the two etched in stone. 11 and 40, obviously. Yeah. I like it. I think it's a good look. I don't know if the black just doesn't fully match the jersey, and it just fully throws me off every time I watch it. I didn't like it in preseason. I wasn't a big fan when we played the Eagles in it. So we'll see how it looks, the black on black, but I like it. What else do you guys got going into this game? Jackie, are you worried about Kyler Murray at all? Let's talk about the Kyler Murray regression story that we've witnessed. Are you worried about Jackie regressing or Kyler anymore regressing, Jackie?
Yes, it's a little concerning now that your number one wide receiver threat is back in the game. Are you going to be able to actually accurately get him the ball without, making him jump up and potentially hurting him in the process? So we'll see how that goes. At this point, I've heard what's his name, Chuck Harris, say that it would benefit Kyler to work out with a QB guru. And then he said, "Oh, I said that last year, but people got on me." But at this point, I do think it could benefit if you are having some issues. So, but we'll see. It's a lot of pressure.
Are you
on
saying
right now.
Cliff Kingsbury is not a QB guru?
No, by all means, no. I'm probably a better QB guru than Cliff. I'm just kidding.
Boom shakalaka!
We've got narratives going on right now. I guess there's a Call of Duty something or other coming out. So that's been the running joke of Twitter today that he's not going to play because Call of Duty.
Listen, he will play. He's just going to go home and stay up until 4 a.m. and play it all through the weekend, and then he'll get back to work on Monday, right, Joe? That's what you do.
I mean, listen, God forbid he has a life, right? I mean, I think that narrative is so... How dare him. Those narratives are so lazy and tired, in my opinion. Like, other players play video games, play golf, do whatever. I'm so done with that story.
But this also came out the same time DeAndre Ayton's thing kind of came out when DeAndre Ayton was staying up until 4 a.m. during the season playing video games, and then he looks tired and lackadaisical in the game. And then people are starting to combine the two. And then you couple that with what Kyler Murray had to do with his study session in his clause in his contract, So you couple all that together, and it's just a windstorm of BS around us. But I mean, Kyler Murray needs to step up, man, the way Devin Booker stepped up last night, in my opinion. This has the potential to be one of the better sports weekends in a long time, because let's be honest, in AZ sports, it's been god awful for the offseason for the Cardinals, the offseason for the Suns, how the Suns went out and weren't even looking good in the playoffs when everybody was healthy, the way the Cards went out, Arizona State football, Arizona State basketball. The Coyotes play tonight as well, but they've been a dumpster fire with everything going on with the arena. It's been bad for Arizona sports. Suns got a great win last night, a fun win. If the Cardinals can pull this off, people might start rallying the Valley a little bit tonight. You know what I mean? Again, you got the Coyotes playing tonight too. You got some great Thursday night football going on, obviously. You got Virginia at Georgia Tech. I used to live down the street from the Georgia Tech campus, Joe. I know you're in Georgia. So I lived down there, and I remember being around that atmosphere, but not being able to afford to go to the games when I was 20 years old. And then you got some playoff baseball. It's a really wonderful time for sports, and we are in the eye of it tonight. But to come out flat again and to score 3 points on offense, Joe, what would that do to you? I'm giving you a worst case scenario here. Are you completely off the cliff train then? Are we done for the season? Like, where would that leave you emotionally and physically?
I mean, I'm probably gonna, for no matter what happens, be of the position that I want to see how the season plays out. But it's going to pretty much, in my mind, tank our hopes for the season. I think if we lose this game and the offense doesn't come out and perform reasonably, I would say it would take a miracle to even dream of the playoffs. And I would be leaning towards, let's let the season play out. And unless we see they get everything right quickly, I'm not gonna argue with anyone who says we should fire Cliff at the end of the season. I am a wait and see person, so I want to wait till the end of the season, see all the information. But if they can't get it right now, it's going to be too late. If they can't get it right this game, I think the season is pretty well a prepare for next season endeavor.
Jackie, thoughts? Yes.
I absolutely agree. I don't like to overreact or be dramatic, but if we don't win tonight, I might just skip the post-game show and take a bath with my toaster.
Don't do that.
I'm kidding. No, but look at the injury report for this team. Like, there's absolutely no way we should drop this. And I don't like to say like, oh, we should win because they're hurt, but it is what it is, and we have very little margin for error when it comes to the playoffs. The only thing that's somewhat promising is that the NFC as a whole, there's not a lot of good teams. Most teams are either at 500 or have a losing record. But yeah, this is a definitely get right, win now, and then, try to sustain that for the rest of the season, because if not, then we're done.
I'm going to be riding or dying on every play then. Like, really. One narrative I forgot to bring up, is this the revenge of Tyrann Mathieu game?
No.
The dude plays with intensity, so he's gonna want it to be. He's gonna want to have a good showing here. I know he has a lot of appreciation for Bruce Arians and the fact that Arizona drafted him, but he also has a acrimonious relationship with one Steve Keim. So there's a little kind of there's a little something, little extra sauce in this matchup for him.
Officially, the starting offensive line is Humphreys, Garcia, Billy Price, Will Hernandez, and Kelvin Beachum.
Yeah.
So live or die by it. Here we go.
Can I, Evan, there's one matchup I want to mention we haven't talked about that is the one I'm most scared of in this game. And that's Taysom Hill against Isaiah Simmons in our defense. I said this on my live stream, the pregame one I did earlier in the week. Taysom Hill is the kind of player we drafted Isaiah Simmons to be able to handle and cover, right? Simmons has the physical tools, and he's, for whatever people want to say about him, Isaiah Simmons is really smart. He has good football IQ. That you don't play all those positions like he did at Clemson without that. But you just see too many plays where he just gets juked out or misdirected, and he's leaning the wrong way and he gets burnt. He's struggling against those kinds of plays. I mean, he makes some big plays, but Taysom Hill is the kind of player we drafted Isaiah Simmons to be able to cover, but he's the kind of player Isaiah Simmons has struggled to deal with. Now, there's not many players like him, but a tight end and someone who can run like that, I am worried about what Taysom Hill might do against this defense, because our cornerbacks, I feel good about what they're going to do against the receivers. Our run defense is up and down, but I feel like we can be okay there. It's Taysom Hill that I don't know if our answer for him is going to actually be able to answer the question.
Jackie, what do you have an answer to that?
That is a very good point that I didn't take into account until you said it. But yeah, Isaiah Simmons has struggled against those tight ends, and he was advertised as a tight end killer, or that's the solution to that problem, because we've always had that problem. So that's going to be very interesting. But he's been playing some limited snaps, so maybe it's a lot of motivation. Maybe he comes out swinging because people are already trying to write him off, and maybe he's listening to that narrative, and maybe it's giving him a chip on his shoulder. We shall see. But, David Collins has played very good. So there's that.
Yeah.
Zaven Collins, 8.5 tackles, in my opinion. Over or under, Joe?
I'm going to say over.
Jackie?
I'll say over.
All right. What about DeAndre Hopkins? 99.5 yards. Over, under?
Over.
Hammer the over.
Hammer the over. So we're all feeling pretty confident that DeAndre Hopkins is going to fix quite a few things. I mean, we started off at the beginning of the show talking about having elite players doing elite things. Kickoff is about to be going on here, so we're going to head out very shortly, but we will be doing post-game pod. Where? Oh, that side.
Yes, over here. The Cardinal Rule.
Over on the Cardinal Rule. So go check us out there. Final score predictions. Joe, what do you got?
27-17 Cardinals.
Jackie?
23-13. No, 26-13 Cardinals.
After all the BS that I've said about the Cardinals and Cliff Kingsbury, I think it's going to be 31-17 Cardinals.
Okay, I like it.
I know. I hope it's the case. Are we kicking or receiving? What do we have here? Do we know yet? I just turned it on my phone because I realized I'm not signed in on my computer. So it looks like we are kicking. So that means we receive the second half. All right, guys. You guys enjoy the game. Have some drinks. I'll definitely have a drink post-game. We're going to have a lot to talk about, for good or for bad. Dale Krause says 21-14 Arizona. I like it. We are going to get out of here. No outro. We're just going to go right to the game. Enjoy some football. Go Cardinals. We'll see you next time. Peace.